Why is Supreme so popular? That is the question we're going to answer today. Why is Supreme considered the brand that whenever you say hypebeast, you immediately think of Supreme? When you think of resellers, you may think of Supreme. And whatever you consider a huge line that goes several blocks around in New York, LA, or wherever, when you think of a huge line, you may think of Supreme in terms of streetwear. Now, how has Supreme gotten to this point? Why is Supreme the brand where you can buy a t-shirt for $48 with their simple logo on it and then proceed to sell it for hundreds of dollars or more, or even thousands of dollars more? They're just simple hoodies with their logo on it. Now, what makes these logos so special? Why is Supreme the brand that is considered the pedestal of hypebeast streetwear? How did Supreme get to this point? Ever since they're coming out in 1994, what has made them different from the rest? I mean, we have Bape, we have Palace, we have all these other hypebeast brands that people line up for. But what makes Supreme the one? Today, we're going to be answering that. So I would say the first thing that actually made Supreme popular, that sort of brought a lot of attention to their name, would be the fact that they have celebrities. Now, celebrities actually have a big influence in streetwear. Now, that's a pretty commonly known thing, but Supreme then eventually just had all these very big celebrities such as Justin Bieber, A$AP Rocky, Kanye West, Tyler the Creator. They had all these people that started wearing their brand, and of course then that expanded the streetwear game of Supreme. Just instead of it being for the skateboard community, sort of what it was originally known for in the first sort of 10 years it was around, it was more just sort of a smaller brand. It wasn't that small, but it was more just for skateboarders. But then when you started getting people like Justin Bieber and other really big artists wearing it, you then push it into like hip-hop community and sort of mainstream attention, and that's how Supreme sort of started off its name. And to be honest, in those first 10 years, Supreme was really more involved with skating, and now I feel like they're more involved as a streetwear brand rather than just a skating brand. And when celebrities started wearing it, I think that's when they sort of found out the change was going to need to happen. They need to become more of a streetwear brand rather than a skating brand, and they're definitely still a big part of like skating and all that, but if you think about it, they're more or less a streetwear brand now. And the idea of the celebrities wearing this is just the idea that when you see your favorite person wearing it, like if you look up to this person like Kanye, the whole idea of this whole Adidas line with the Yeezy, think about how big that has been. When he started wearing, like, people would follow his every move, and whatever sneaker he wore, it would shoot up in value. So if you think about it, whenever he started wearing Supreme a bunch, that really pushed a lot of people onto the brand, hence making it hypebeast. Now, another thing that I think would really make Supreme this brand, why are they the best, would be because they're really limited. If you think about it, I found this quote from James Jebbia, the man who created Supreme himself. Here's a quote from him, it's on the screen, and basically what it says is, if I can make 600, I will make 400. Now, basically what that means is he's like, look, I don't care how much demand there is, I'm going to keep it limited, I'm going to keep it special. And that's a really good idea. It's almost like making Supreme more special. And actually, to support that, I found another quote from I believe a Supreme employee, or from some paragraph that someone wrote up. I found this on Reddit, I believe, and it basically says, you should be lucky that you're able to shop at Supreme. It is a gift, it is something given to you, it's a very special opportunity, and you should be really happy to shop at Supreme, because Supreme means something more than just a brand. Supreme is like a culture. Supreme is this special thing that you get to be a part of when you step in the store, and you should be very grateful to even get to walk in the store, and that's the message I get from it. And there's a couple things behind that, like people are like, yes, the employees are very mean and stuff like that, and to be honest, the employees are mean because I believe one of the employees actually explained himself, he's like, you know, we're skaters isn't necessarily, skating is not something easy, and you know, we're just gonna have an attitude for it, and you know, we're just trying to enforce the idea of Supreme. I mean, if you ask all these questions, we may not answer them because we're not into it. And it's all these sort of things that they're just sort of keeping up with themselves, and they're just sort of making sure that you know that you should be very grateful to shop here. So with celebrities wearing it, and then also really big supply and demand, if you think about it, then people really get into it because you have so much demand but you make very little supply, and then that makes all these hype for the drops, people lining up to like, yo, this is great piece that my favorite celebrity just wore, I need to get it, but I need to line up, so I go there 6 hours in advance, and it creates this sort of community, and then the employees sort of enforce that, and that's why they may have that attitude also, because skating isn't easy, so they're just gonna, I mean, skaters have sort of always acted in that, like that in my opinion, so if you get confronted with one of these employees, and it's not necessarily the best experience, it may have been your fault, it may have been their fault, but just sort of understand that that's the culture, that's how they're gonna be, and you should be very grateful that you get to walk into the store. So those are just a couple reasons on why it's popular. Very limited, so little supply, but big demand, and also celebrities wearing it, so when people People want it, they gotta line up, they gotta get ready in advance, they gotta find all these ways to get their product, just find a way to get it, and that also creates a special reselling hype. So basically, the reselling hype, what it is that Supreme creates limited supply, big demand, and then they sell for big bucks. Now, that's pretty simple to guess. Now, why do they sell for so much money? Like, yeah, anybody can make anything limited. You can make 10 t-shirts and then they sell for nothing. Why is that? Well, because they were super hyped because celebrities were wearing them. So when you make very little of them, it creates this reselling hype. And then when you have a reselling hype, people sell it so they can make money. And there's actually this little story I found. I don't know if I'm gonna put it on the screen, but I'll just explain it right here. There was this guy that he's paying his way through college just by reselling Supreme alone. Supreme is a gateway for people. Supreme is a lifestyle for people. Supreme's a job for people. If you're not an employee, you're not a skater, whatever, it's a way for you to live in a sense because you are going to have to resell this in order to keep surviving. And that's how people really used this brand. They've used it economically. It's basic economics, you think about it. High supply or low supply, heavy demand. If you get it, then you can sell it for much more and you can make money. And that's how people sort of just started paying their way through. And like paying their way through college just by Supreme, that's awesome. And so he creates this reselling hype. When you can find out you can make a bunch of money just off one t-shirt or one hoodie, that's something special. So that's what created this hype, is that a lot of people have actually used Supreme for resale. And if you think about it, I'm not one of those people. I like buying Supreme. That's why when I have products, I typically keep them. I mean, I do resell a lot. I'm gonna be honest, like I do resell a good bit of the products I get. But you think about it, that reselling hype, you can always sell it for more. Supreme is the name, Supreme's that brand. Now, with Supreme creating all this reselling hype, celebrity endorsement, and doing all these things combined, they've almost created a hierarchy if you think about it. You have all the brands, and Supreme is just at the very top of streetwear. So if you're wearing a very expensive or limited product from them, you're considered at the top of the streetwear, the biggest hypebeast in a sense. And hypebeast is sort of starting to turn negative again. If you guys think about it, on YouTube lately, we have so many people just sort of speaking out on their thoughts in it. I think it's amazing that people are finally speaking out on what they think about the streetwear community. And I feel like hypebeast is starting to shift back to that sort of negative thing, and it's more about if you buy what you like now, which that's always what I've done. I buy what I like, not what I think is the most hype, and that's sort of my opinion, and I've noticed that. So Supreme has almost created this hierarchy, like they're at the very top, and then there's other brands at the bottom, and they've sort of created this ladder of like a marker. Like if you're wearing the box logo, you are up there. It's the most limited product you have it. You're representing the brand 100%. Now, it doesn't mean if you buy a regular t-shirt, you're not representing the brand. There's a person with the box logo is above you in streetwear, if that sort of makes sense. That's what they've created. Now, by doing this, that's where the resale hype comes from, because people are like, oh, I want to be at the top of the chart now. It's sort of like a battle. It's competition. Who's the biggest? Who's the best? And you've seen this on YouTube lately for sure, with people shopping who's the biggest hypebeast, meeting the biggest hypebeast. It's created this ladder, and it's very common in streetwear now. Oh, and just thought I'd show you guys a quick little fact right now, because I might as well. I researched it. I'm gonna throw it in right here. James Jebbia, creator of Supreme, was actually not a skater himself. Now, I don't know if this sort of came as a surprise or not, but James Jebbia was not a skater. He just made a skate brand because New York didn't have any skate shops, or they didn't. I didn't think they have many at the time, and he just sort of made something that there wasn't any of, and then he got more people coming in the shop, and that's why it was a skate brand, is because they actually had things that you could buy, and that's why Supreme sort of became more hyped, is because like, hey, there's this skate shop, the only one in New York, the only one you can go to, and it sort of created a new sort of thing. So James Jebbia made a skate shop. He wasn't a skater himself though. So a final question I'll answer here. This one quote explains it. Is Supreme overhyped? Yes. Just read this quote right here. Supreme is overhyped. I don't really like it. I just buy it for resale. Simple thing. I think it makes complete sense. Pretty much Supreme. Why it's popular? Those are the reasons why. Basically, Supreme is popular because of limited supply, heavy demand, celebrity endorsement, reselling hype, and they just sort of made this hierarchy to be, if you're wearing Supreme, you're at the top, and that's how they made their name above everybody else, how they sort of rose to the top. Even if people say they're dying, they're still at the top pretty clearly, and that's how Supreme became popular. Anyways though, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Sort of a different video. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and subscribe below. I may do more videos like this in the future if you guys did enjoy this sort of historical, informational, like documentary style video. And also you guys can drop a like if you want. You guys can do either of those, I'd appreciate it. But anyways, thank y'all for watching this video. I appreciate it, and peace out. It's JP Sound.